Hi, so my name's Angela Phipps. This is my self-study. I have a commander personality style. I'm ENTJ, extrovert, thinking, judging, intuitive. I am the 3% that, with the commander personality style, where we're very much take charge. We're very quick to react. And we think big. We love a good challenge. The negative to this personality style is in the classroom. I'm an art teacher, and I have a tendency to not give my students enough time to think of ideas, to come up with things, to brainstorm, because I'm constantly quick to react. And they necessarily aren't. They don't have this. There's only 3% of us that have a need to think quickly, and so I have to remember that and know that my students are not that way. Um, Learning style wise, I am a visual learner, which is great. I think in pictures, it's great for an art student. I understand that. I'm an art teacher. But the negative is that I'm not very good with names. I remember people's faces, but I don't necessarily remember their names. And every 9 weeks, I have 40 new students. And so they're constantly coming in, and I'm not real quick on that. So I have to tell my students, hey, if I call you by the wrong name or can't remember your name, be patient with me, guys. Be patient, because it's just one of my negatives. And so they've just got to know that. Gardner multiple intelligence, so I am social and spatial. Social, which means I love communicating, I love building relationships. I'm like to be a part of group activities, but I'm also spatial visual, so that I am an artist. I enjoy that side of things. I love puzzle solving. I love being able to do different things. So let's see. Political preference. I'm a Republican. I have voted lots of different ways. And I don't tell my students what my political preference is. I don't think it's something they necessarily need to know, because I want them to be able to think for themselves. I want them to be able to have their own beliefs and discuss their own beliefs and not feel like they're being judged one way or the other. Ethnic or cultural, I'm a white female. And it doesn't matter. Yes, I have friends of every different culture. I love culture. I love people with just rich backgrounds. But I can only ever see things through a white female's eyes. And so that's just the truth of it. Socioeconomic, right now I'm middle class. But I have been just about everything. Growing up, from about 5 years old, my mother was a single mother, and was raising us alone. There was no child support. I paid for lunches with pennies, because we had nothing else. And so I can see that side, and I know when my students are suffering, and I can feel for them, because I've understood that. But then in probably 6th grade, she was so poor that she could no longer afford babysitters, and so she married a very rich man, hoping that would be a better situation. And I also learned that having lots of money doesn't mean you're in a great situation either. So there was abuse. It was not a great situation, but there was a lot of money. So because I can see all of the different aspects of economic backgrounds, I can kind of feel for my students and understand that. Prejudice and bias, I have a tendency to see things from a rural Arkansas perspective. I think very much about shop local. I am very much about supporting small business in our area. We have a tendency to not want to bring in big business, which also can be a problem when we come to economic development. So I'm on some economic development teams, and we need big business. It is what brings money to a small community. And so I'm learning to see how important big business is. Um, so family, both of my parents have been married 3 times. So there's lots of us, lots of family. I have one full brother, one half brother, one stepsister, and 3 stepbrothers. But I am still firstborn female, so that commander personality plus firstborn female, I am always in charge, no matter what. So I try not to be a bully, but all my brothers and sisters know that I will give them my opinion. So I'm of Christian faith. Let's see. So sexuality, I'm heterosexual. Interest, I am an artist, but I enjoy farm life, gardening, and hay baling. So I've really gotten into the farm life. I love tractors. I love driving tractors. I love that. I love being out on the farm with the boys. And so that is in the summertime. That's my life. Body image, I have always been plus size since I was in 3rd grade. I've always been the curvy girl, and I'm okay with it. That is just me. And so that's okay. And so I can feel for my students that maybe have a little poundage on them, or for my really skinny students, because I know that also can affect their image. Marital status, I've been married 9.5 years to my husband, Mike. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have learning disabilities. And so I am dyslexic, very creative and quirky. I also have anxiety. I have ADHD, ADD, whatever you want to call it. So I can also very much understand my students and some of their quirks and things that they are learning to deal with. And so I tell my students about my learning disabilities, the things I deal with, and talk to them about how they're going to deal with them. And so if you've got this issue, let's talk about it. It's not a negative, it's a positive. How are we going to handle it? And so I think that's something that students have to learn. So these are my references that I researched on background, on personality styles, and then this is my reflection information that is included. So I've included all my personal information for each item, my resources, my thinking about how this affected me as a person, and who I am and how this affects my relationship to others. And so I think I've really discussed my strengths and weaknesses and how I help students, and sometimes how it can be in a negative. Thank you. I appreciated talking with you.